Welcome back to EPIC44 Counter-Strike. I am Waxen, joined by Tyler, bringing you the 6th game of the day from the group stage. We've got flowstate versus Amanek. Tyler, it's a pleasure to share the broadcast with you, my friend.
Oh no, the pleasure is honestly mine, Vlad. You've been doing some fantastic stuff recently in your casting career. And look at you now, man. We're at Epic Land. It's the place to be, baby. I'm happy to be here. You're happy to be here. We're going to have some fun today.
Absolutely, and let's not waste any more time because we are very deep within this group stage already. Both teams have won 4 of their games and lost a single one.
That's right, yep, 4-1 for both teams. Very, very neck and neck at this part in the tournament. This will decide if you're going to be joining the upper echelons of the top 10 stages of this event as well. Now, in terms of seeding, flowstate currently sitting at 8th seed. And we have Amanek at 17th. Both teams, I find, though, especially Amanek, they are looking very, very good commensurate to some of the other teams that are appearing at the top of this food chain. So we'll be interested to see if they can hold their own and continue their little dream story heading into this match.
Of course, like you said, Amanek is punching up way above their league. And, you know, this squad, fans of the French superstar, would like to replicate some of that success, especially, you know, here at EPIC44, first UK LAN of 2025. We need to instill some fresh air into the entire scene and maybe, you know, for some of these players, make a name for themselves and step into the shadow or, you know, the former footsteps of other players from the past.
100%, man. So there are a couple of names on this list already that are sticking out to me, especially LTH. The man has graced the in-game map of Overpass. He is one of the players who actually has the privilege of having a graffiti with his name in it. It's a real crazy thing to wake up and be like, hey, my name's actually in a video game. How cool is that, man? So, yeah, on flowstate, we've got LTH and we've got Trouto as well.
Ooh, yeah.
Trouto, I actually had the pleasure of doing a couple of scrims and, like, old school teaming with back in the day. So it's really good to see he's still doing things and, you know, making a name for himself out there. And we've got Shaney on flowstate as well. Epic LAN and UK CS veteran. It's good to see him back in here, you know, still got it, showing us new kids what it's all about. And like you said as well, like bringing in some of the new players. Obviously, we've had certain players like Mighty Max from the Endpoint squad unfortunately have their teams released. So it will be interesting to see how some of the teams at this event can make their way out and make a name for themselves here at Epic LAN.
Of course. I mean, you know, we are all standing, or is that what it says? Standing on the shoulders of giants, and that's what some of these players hope to achieve here. But neither of these two teams is undefeated. They have both dropped the map, and I wanted to ask you, Tyler, based on your experience here at Epic LAN, how can you bounce back from suffering your first defeat in the tournament?
Well, at this stage, because you've had 4 dubs as opposed to a single loss, I personally wouldn't get too rattled into what went wrong on that singular game. The game you've been playing thus far has been solid. You've been beating teams. There's a couple of lessons in there perhaps to be learned, but play your own game. It's been working thus far. Keep it up. Play to your strengths, and you'll find yourself getting that 5th dub every day of the week.
Well, at least one of these teams will, obviously.
100%.
Or maybe it's a draw. We don't know. Let's talk a bit about the format, guys. So we don't want to have any other hiccups like we previously had. So if we go to overtime, what would happen then, Tyler? Please let us know.
We will have 3 rounds to determine who goes to a match point, and then if the opposite team gets 3 rounds as well, we go to a draw. That's it, no more rounds. 15-15 game means the end of the match, and not a second overtime like I made the mistake of doing last time.
Of course,
so we're not going to do that again.
I didn't want to put you on blast, of course. But that adds a bit of an interesting, you know, dynamic to the entire format because we see some teams undefeated in the 7 to 8 slot currently in the group stage. They haven't won all of their games.
I believe Adept is one of those teams. They have currently standing here with a draw. So it'd be interesting to see how that affects their standings going into the final few games of today's matches. And speaking on standing on the shoulders of giants, I feel like I'm going to need to stand on your shoulders because compared to me, you are, yeah, that's so much better, thank you. I'm just going to like get on this imaginary crate that's just down here, you know, this is perfect.
Oh, I love this.
Stay like this for the whole broadcast.
Oh, wow.
Excellent stuff.
Leg day commencing.
Yeah, go get those glutes to work.
Wait, if I just go further back, you know, like play with
Yeah,
the
we can
camera
do like a
angles.
little bit of a forced perspective thing.
I'd love that.
You know, because if I go further back, it's like, ooh, a little bit smaller.
So I just wanted to quickly remind the viewers at home about the format of the tournament.
Sure.
At the end of the 7 group stage games that the teams will be playing, we will have 8 making it to the upper bracket of the playoffs, with the other 8 going to the lower bracket right away. And based on this, you know, draw format with 15 all, the risk there is you could be undefeated. But with 2 or 3 draws, you could actually go to the lower bracket and have someone that has lost the game but won all of the others make it above you, which is kind of punishing in a way for teams that cannot be decisive.
100%, especially as well, we've seen Cinderella runs at Epic Land where lower bracket teams fight their way back and end up into the semi-finals and grand finals of the stage. And another one for you guys out there, if you lose your first BO3 in the lower bracket, you can still play Inters tomorrow and keep it going. That's a little tip for you.
Yeah, of course, and a lot of these teams, we have over 40 teams, I think 41 or 33 teams.
We have, I've got it written down here, we have
my analyst.
43 teams here at this event for EPIC44. Imagine if we got that one extra team, we could have had it, the stars aligning. 44 teams at Epic Land 44. Wasn't meant to be, we'll stick with 43.
Well, we got 43 teams playing and a great Counter-Strike broadcast team, right? So that makes
100%.
us 44.
And speaking of the broadcast team, I want to give a massive shout out to our observers, our production team, all of the people behind the scenes at Epic Land, making a great time for us all and giving you guys an excellent show. So please, in the chat, give them a round of applause, give them the love they deserve.
Well, now that we've done the counting, we've done all of it, we finally have the veto.
Yeah, we can get into the meat and potatoes of this game, and it looks as though we are going to Anubis, ladies and gentlemen. Amanek starting on the CT side. Interesting that they would opt to choose the CT side, because in my experience, Anubis, it's happened again. It's happened again. We're going to go to a knife round first to determine who is going to
You've played this tournament before, right?
That's right. I have.
Have the rules changed?
Maybe a little bit.
It's
been a while for me, like a year and a half since I was back in the server.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's
okay.
all good, man. It's all good.
I love this, though. Anubis. And again, speaking of the knife round, it's one of those maps that I think it's good to go in a best of 1 to. It's quite balanced, although you were about to say that is...
A little bit T-sided,
yeah.
A little bit T-sided in my experience. Like, heavy rushes with good utility can be very difficult to stop, especially on the B-bomb site. But nonetheless, yeah, especially for like BO1 upsets, there is upset potential. So that may even favor Amanek going into this one.
Yeah, and you know, we were talking earlier about, you said you don't want to see any train in best of 1s. Due to the nature of the map maybe being a bit too one-sided, you know, to put it all on the line, you start on the T side, you haven't really practiced as much. People on the CT side get 10 or 11 rounds in the first half, and then you have no chance of coming back into it. It's the same with a map like Nuke, which traditionally is very CT-sided.
Yes,
so I think we're both quite happy we're going to Anubis.
Yeah, definitely going to be a even-sided thing. And like you said with Nuke, historically, going back to like 2015 when we still had rafters on the outside,
yes,
very, very CT-sided. Very CT-sided. So map's in a very good spot at the minute. Still very back-and-forth game. Anyone's called, especially now that CS2 naturally a bit more T-sided as well. Aggressive plays are being rewarded in the current state of play. We love to see it.
Absolutely, and it's going to have to be absolute spectacle if one of these two teams want to inch themselves ever so close.
Oh, I'm loving the chicken cam, by the way. Please, production, focus on the chicken some more. We're loving that.
So the upper bracket knives right away, and oh, we got a couple of karambits in the chat. We can't really play-by-play a knife round, can we?
Yeah, we can forget the knife round. It's all about this chicken right here. Did you know one of the CS2 players / caster, B-Dog, has a chicken tattoo on his leg? Great stuff, and we love the commitment from that side.
Shout out to B-Dog.
Yeah, shout out to my boy B-Dog. We love to see it.
Oh, I love that. Is it just a random chicken, or is it like
no,
a Counter-Strike chicken?
No, it's the Counter-Strike chicken. I believe the graphic has also been used on some of the ESL merchant branding. So, if you see any of that, you'll be familiar.
Can Valve like sue him for like copyright infringement, like cut his leg off?
Can you put a copyright infringement on someone's I mean, people get like logos and stuff all the time, especially like, you know, metal artists and bands. They will have like tattoos of like logos and stuff. But anyway, that's not important. What is important, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to get into this pistol round. Trouto going full steam into this game. Triple kill from Tommy T to start us off in this game. Wow.
What a way, just swinging out full confidence, annihilating Amanek. And now Nizi and Zero are just hoping to find something. And now we're 1 versus 5. Gonna find the first Glock kill, but now getting completely sandwiched in from both sides. Zero will have to isolate the first duel, gets the headshot onto the player, but it's gonna be Shaney putting the final nail in the coffin. And oh, Tyler, you highlighted Trouto. What a better way to show his presence on LAN.
I know the guy very well. Tommy T always down for a 3K, and just look at this absolute aggression. Pays off for him, gets the 3K, makes himself known in today's game. What a play.
Absolutely in confidence, oozing with confidence, you could even say, and that's going to be Amanek realizing, you know what, maybe we don't have the tools necessary to force in this one, so that's why we see a few deagles in the Tech 9.
I'd certainly be shivering me timbers if you're thinking Trouto's out on the server now. He's the guy you want to look out for. Maybe if he heads towards the B-bomb site, we're going to go to A this time. But no, it looks as though Amanek are squaring up for a bit of a B take, just feeling out the opposition, slowing things down a little bit.
We also have Lukmagi just outside, across the map from them to see if anybody will be getting curious, maybe crazy. Oh, nice deagle shot connecting to Shaney. Damage not dealing too much in exchange, but a much slower round. Well, Amanek was playing that first pistol round quite slow as well. It was flowstate with Trouto just taking over the T side of the map.
Fully just exploiting the aggression, and it paid off for them on this occasion. flowstate offering, of course, for a slightly more passive round against the pistols. They don't want to let this snowball out of control.
Oh.
Shaney, though, getting deleted. LTH for a double and a triple. What a play from him. Beautiful stuff from flowstate. They take their second round on the board.
Oh yeah, only a very nice drive-by from Nizi there taking Shaney out, but not much more we could expect from them for what was an essential eco, as we are now gonna get the full rifle squad for the T's. No AWP, of course, there was no bomb plant, but this is rather unexpected. I think the first time I get to cast today a timeout.
Interesting, yeah. Little timeout being called there just to try and figure out what the next port of call is for this game. flixmagi, though, undecided. He's umming and ahhing about what to get, boys. Do I go AK-47? Do I go Galil? Do I focus on the util? What's the best thing right here? I mean, if I was Flix, you could possibly go Galil, get a better util as well, because I'm seeing a lack of that from Amanek. So maybe that's the play he makes. Time will tell, though.
A lot of mollies already, yes. It's going to be AK plus smoke, never mind. Completely ignored our advice.
It's fine, man, it's fine.
They're playing with one flash only. That's... Oh.
One flash is all it takes, falling in love with me, possibilities. Why have we got another tactical timeout going on?
It might just be a tech timeout. It might be a tech, and they just call tactical instead. Or this is some sort of mental game, so Tyler. They might be thinking
I would be very cautious about using your tactical timeouts this early into your regulation games. You will only have the one tactical timeout to bail you out of trouble if you find your opposition just decimating you.
I have a strong feeling this might be a technical, right? You wouldn't call both of them at this point. I don't think you would even call one tactical timeout unless something really, really happened and you can't justify it.
Trouble is, though, once you've used your tac, you've used it. I don't believe there is a means of getting it back. So they will find themselves with just the one timeout into this game, heading into things.
Well, first gun round commences. Of course, there are a few MP9s and a FAMAS for flowstate, but Amanek, the ones that would need to desperately find this first round victory.
Izzy now having a look towards the bomb site, gets traded though. flixmagi, though, wants to try and retaliate just back, forces back the CT with some util to boot.
LTH is about to get some action in mid. There's no pop flash. We discussed about this, and a dry pick will get punished by one of the star players of flowstate. Swings again, and it's gonna lose the duel as flixmagi gets it. Also Zero, one versus one versus Shaney.
Aggressive though, goes towards A, finds that kill. Now he's got to try and catch off this player on the rotate back, but are they going to go rugs? Looks like they are. He's aware of it though. Shaney's massive cranium paying dividends. Doesn't stop the planter though, and the round goes the way of Amanek.
Sometimes a massive cranium is too heavy for one's shoulders, and that's why the tees helped him with a nice headshot, you know, relieve some of that pressure.
Little free haircut, courtesy of the flowstate side.
Now, we are going to have Shaney playing with a single deagle after finding some impactful kills. Doesn't have the necessary money to invest for a rifle. That's quite an interesting one. But we also have Maji going for the MAC-10, so he's going to try to get close. So far, yet to find a kill, and that's why he's pushing to the smoke. Got to play behind the molly.
Noticing a little interesting thing here. We've got Flix Magi, we've got RX Magi, and Loose Magi. This is going to get a little bit complicated in terms of the player callouts.
Swing from Zero, wants to win the duel, but oh my goodness, flowstate with 3 kills in a matter of moments, and now 2-player advantage. Maji, it's RX trying to find something with the MAC-10. They have completely walked into that stack all the way across the map, despite finding the entry onto Crazy. And now, what can you do? Trouter walks in and wins the duel. Flix 1 versus 4. It's not on site, does have the bomb, but I think it's going to be an impossible ask for him to clutch this one.
Worth seeing if Flix can find himself a little timing here, coming out towards A. Shaney going to stay put though, doesn't know the player has crossed. He's looking around, he's thinking, where's he gone?
Oh,
Footstep given away now, the jig is up. Shaney going to go for the peek, and he finds it. Flix Magi goes down, and flowstate win their 3rd round. Today's BO1.
They save 4 rifles. That means they'll start racking up some of the cash. Also, Amanek is struggling financially. That's probably going to have to be more or less a full eco. Maybe.
Yeah, this may just be a double eco going into this. Although I see that Nizzy finds himself with a deagle. Some Tech 9s coming out as well. Looks like they want to try and retaliate back after that. Maybe go for a faster play. Something towards mid, perhaps.
Yeah, Luke's got the AK-47 as well. He will have to be the spearhead of this attack. As Trouter holds this angle, that we can hear the player drop. That doesn't seem to be the case, and Luke gets the entry. Now player advantage for Amanek. They're trying to isolate the side, but oh my goodness, Bisher just takes Luke back and brings it down to a 4 versus 4.
Yeah, Bish retaliates, and Trouter getting found out there. The bit of the 1-2 punch from the T's to try and bait him out there. Interesting teamwork happening, and another defensive smoke to try and quell this A push. No luck for Amanek at this time. Interesting to see though, Shaney can find something. He's going to have a little look around, but I say that. The T's just going barging in. Shane and Bish getting kills, but Zero Stack with 2 of the Tech 9. He gets put down, just Nizzy alive. What have you got for us, buddy? Finds the bomb. Not able to get it down though. Has a little fake out to try and draw LTH. He's not going to bite though. And Crazy as well. Neither man looking to extend themselves out. Goes for the plant. Yep, HG going to do some damage.
A little bit.
Not much. Crazy going to take that one. And flowstate get their 4th round on the board.
Good attempt from Amanek. They did their best, but it was very, very hard. You know, jumping through the smoke. Maybe a bit of a desperation play. I don't think it was needed.
I think they were trying to catch a timing, because I think maybe they heard Shaney heading towards the the connector area, and just trying to like maybe get the timing, because normally if you go for like a big play with flashes and smokes, it's like, okay, well the jig's up, we know they're coming through. Sneak through the smoke, and they were just none the wiser. A good attempt nonetheless though. A good attempt.
Yeah, they got the bomb down. That's quite good for when you essentially have an eco. That's why they can fully repurchase into this one. But the big question mark for me this round will be Shaney's AWP, as he seems to be most likely heading towards mid.
Yep, Shaney looking to roll back the years, show us how it's done. Be interesting to see what kind of an opening pick he goes for here. Ooh, gets the first one onto Flix. And can he find the second? Yes, he can. Shaney showing us why he is a veteran of this game.
And it's 155 left on the board for this round, and Nizzy plus Zero Stack are wondering, where have our teammates disappeared? Oh, you're about to find out as they're about to walk into Shaney, holding the angle. Also has LTH, nice headshot. LTH And
Very
actually
nice
fallen
angle.
back. Has to hold this out. Gets caught with the molly in hand. And now Amanek slowly playing this round.
Yep, they found a couple of opening picks. LTH caught with his pants down, but still, Bish trying to figure out if they're going to maybe drop down. It's the T's in the driving seat here because they can choose what they do next, but Bish is ready for this one. Finds the double. Oh, complete and utterly wrecked. Nice one, Bish.
Yeah, very good, crosshair placement and spray control from Bish there. I'm not entirely sure why they felt the need to drop water. I think they could have actually played it slower. They had 60 seconds left on the clock to count the bomb, and they opted to go for the aggressive play, trying to overwhelm Bish with the numbers. In the end, it didn't work out in their favor. That means we're going to get yet another save from Amanek, as they are struggling to find a couple of back-to-back rounds where they can play with full utility.
100%. Looks like they're going to go for another push towards B, maybe a bit more util this time. However, there are 3 CTs waiting for them on the other side. Maybe try and draw out some information outside across the map. Never mind, just go straight in with the Tech 9s and just barge your way into this site. Shaney's going to have to falter, throw some
He's mauling himself out. Yes. He still dies, by the way. RX is popping off this round. Got to get another one, as that's a 4K for RX. LTH alone, 1 versus 3.
Doesn't want to save this time. He's having a sniff around. He'll definitely have a look. Doesn't find anything, though. Zero Stack takes him down, and Amanek find themselves with their second round into this game.
Yeah, well, that was a very needed round, and now they're going to have the credits to invest in both this one and the coming up. But we also get the AWP for Look, and that's going to be the first time we see it on the T side of Anubis.
Be interested to see where he goes with this. Maybe go for a cheeky peek towards B, or maybe even hold aggressive for the CT pushes on A. Let's see where he's going with this. Looks like he's going for a little mid peek, maybe catch Shaney off guard. Be interested to see what he finds. Interesting util coming out from the CTs, try and block out that stairs position, and a forward one as well on B.
What a HE.
Very big nade.
Nice kill from Flix, and spots the second player. It's more of a bait, as Shaney has crossed, and I don't think Flix is aware of that position. He will fall back patiently, and a nice spraying down through the smoke. RX gets LTH out. It's also a round that flowstate had to force with 3 MP9s, losing just 1 round after the streak, breaking almost the economy. Amanek will be more than happy with the way this mid portion of the first half goes.
Especially if you look at the money on flowstate as well. Losing this is going to have dire consequences for them. They're going to find themselves very broke on the next round. And a nice little flash as well to try and get Crazy on the angle, and he takes him down. In vain though, because the T side have found themselves with the bomb plant, because they're going to try and get this into a comfortable spot. Crazy and Shaney deciding, you know what, we'll let them have this one. We'll try again next time.
Yeah, they need to. Like you mentioned, no, not enough finances to play for the next one with any rifles, as Amanek going to get the third on the board, and with a lot of money in the bank, maybe even the fourth after that.
Yeah, they've definitely found themselves on the... Obviously found themselves putting flowstate on the back foot, especially now with that money. They can definitely build into this in a couple of the rounds.
Let's look at the score a little bit. We got LTH, as predicted, second in the scoreboard for the CTs. Trouto first with 8 kills, whereas for the T side, it's Zero Stack, finding kills in, well, 7 out of 8 rounds so far. And now, this is a technical pause, not a tactical one. And I gotta ask you, what would you do here if you're flowstate? Obviously, you had saved 2 M4s. Would you maybe drop a FAMAS and try to play with the others?
There's been a lot of aggression coming out from flowstate. We saw it working for them in some of their earlier games. Maybe it's trying to change up the pace a little bit. We're seeing some pushes out towards B. We're seeing aggression towards A. Maybe it's time for go to a deep play towards mid. Maybe try and take some more control of the drop-down area so you can look towards canals. That's what I'd be doing if I was flowstate. Try and change up your CT side a little bit. Throw in a little curveball for them.
Yeah, no, I would love to see that. As obviously they now use the technical timeout to discuss what the game plan will be. We haven't seen anything from Luke. I don't think he found any kills with the AWP last round, did he?
No, he's still holding on to it. He's sitting pretty with it. Like, Wait, just wait, guys. Just wait. It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming. I guarantee you. It's in the works. We're cooking.
On its way. As we're going to take a quick look at the pistol round replay where Trouto just completely obliterated 3 players in a matter of moments. And, you know, this is how the first half has gone so far. Of course, still plenty of rounds to play for until we switch sides.
No, definitely. And just as well, Trouto starting us off strong on this map. A huge 3K for him. And Bish as well with this lovely spray down. Excellent stuff from these. The Flow State players, LTH, Shaney, Trouto, really starting to show their quality on this side.
Yeah, even Bish, despite having the least amount of kills on the CT side, the 2 rounds where he got the 3 and 2 kills respectively were very impactful for the rounds.
Oh yeah, it's all about the impact frags, baby.
Yeah.
That never comes up on Finn's spreadsheet, but those impact frags are important, people.
We are not entirely sure what the tech difficulty is, but with that, Amanek has to kind of continue riding the wave because you mentioned Anubis is a slightly T-sided map, so they would need to win every single remaining round of this half if they want to come on top with 7-5.
100%. If they find themselves with maybe 4 or even 5 rounds going into the next half, I'd still consider them to be at a disadvantage. You definitely want to try and aim towards 6-7 rounds to try and put yourself in a comfortable position. You win that next pistol, and then you're in a good spot to try and close things out. Flow State, however, still in a good spot to try and keep control of this game. It'll be interesting to see, however, what they do with their dwindling money. LTH, Bish, and Trouto on about 2K each. It'll be interesting to see what they do with that money.
Oh, I'd like to get to see a bit of the damage dealt as well. Interesting. Fairly even for the CTs, whereas on the side of Amanek, despite the skill disparity not being that different, there is quite a significant difference between the top damage dealer and the bottom one.
One thing I'm noticing as well, lack of utility for the Flow State side. Just a single smoke, no flashes, a single HE. They are going to have to pull out all of the stops and use all of that firepower to try and win this next round. And it looks as though RX is going to go head towards the mid position, maybe try and catch out some players. Bit of protocol utility just to try and keep position. Shane's having a little sniff though, see what he can find. Gets flashed off the angle.
It's a bit of the HE damage, but will keep himself and the M4A1. He's saved alive for the foreseeable couple of seconds at least as, oh, someone's about to get curious. I believe it might be Bish.
Yeah, Bish is having a little jiggle. He's doing a little dancey dance.
He's still holding it. He's not wide swinging. The look is holding. He's going to beat a molly, and a AWP shot misses. Bish gets that one. Still, more than we could have expected in that scenario from him.
Definitely. Trouto now, 1 pistol and a dream. Let's see if we can get anything out of him. Try and stop this Crazy. Finds himself the kill. Nice little 1-2. Nizzy finds himself the double, but Crazy gets himself the triple and gets himself the round. Lovely little hold from them, considering no utility to stop the push.
Yeah, very, very good. Trouto even finding a couple of USB headshots before dying. Of course, not committing to the kills, but they kind of walked into a half stack, you could call it, and they got punished for it. And now losing the round after a technical. It's never nice to have a technical timeout, of course, but it seemed to have kind of disrupted Amanek's flow. That's why I'm going to put it on the back of that for the loss.
Yeah, the technical timeouts can definitely be a little bit of a mental, curveball in terms of, like, you know, if you're losing your flow on the game, it may be a chance for you to try and, you know, shake up the mindset a little bit. Shaney though finds himself loose magie in the A side. Trouto as well with 1 through the smoke. Bit of defensive molly to try and stop any potential pushes. Amanek looking to just fill this one out though and go a bit chill.
Yeah, and we're going back to the status quo of Flow State, kind of controlling this first half. And unless RX can find an opening here, it will be very, very good. This is Nizzy actually walking through the smoke, getting the first one. The second player very low in HP. Can they punish him? No, LTH is there with double up. Bish somehow still alive, switches to USP and finishes off the round.
Switching to your pistol is always faster than reloading, and Bish shows us case in point why you want to do that. Nice little way to finish the job from him.
Oh, and we have a instant reinvestment from AMANEK. So far, they got the 3-round loss bonus. Well, they will have the 3-round loss bonus if they lose this coming one, but 7-3. They need desperately to win the final 2 rounds and the pistol when they switch sides if they want to still have hope of winning Anubis.
Yeah, flowstate definitely looking like they are running away from this one. AMANEK need to find themselves this next round if they have any chance of getting themselves back into this game. Trying to just feel out the opposition is flowstate. They're giving a little bit more respect to AMANEK this round. Flix and Co going to try and each their way up towards mid. It'll be interesting to see how they play this one out. Shaney though, he wants he's looking for a nibble.
Hard angle to clear, and ooh, something was spotted, but has to turn around to assist. The side take from main, gets the kill, turns around. Now we also see
Another one from Shaney. This is classic CS AWPing, just on a swivel. 90-degree flick of the wrist. We love to see a bit of that. 0 stack last now on single-digit HP. It's not looking very likely. Maybe good for one. Never mind. Bish gonna finish the job once again. And a nice couple of kills from Shaney there on the AWP.
Yeah, up to 11, second player on this map to break double digits alongside Prazy on 10, and 8-3 scoreline. Even an 8-4 would still be a massive, massive victory for flowstate going into the second half of T-side for them. We have 2 Galils, 3 Galils, 1 AK and a Deagle. AMANEK, let's see if they still have the tools necessary to try and win this round. There's some utility available.
Yeah, they find themselves in the back foot here without any of that util to try and crack open any of the bomb sites. And flowstate, they can simply just sit and chill, use their defensive util, and then just eke out this round. RX going to try and have a little sneak around though.
Could
Maybe
be
get a
perfect.
timing towards mid. Shaney though misses the shot. Information gain though for flowstate. Let's see what they can do with it.
HE, not connecting. Shaney gets a second chance at this, and not gonna waste it. As takes RX out. Flash is coming in, blinding him, but it's Prazy assisting Shaney. It finally crossfit, replacement, readjustment, gets another triple kill, up to 14 kills, as flowstate are just a couple of rounds away from winning this map in a very convincing fashion.
Yep, Shaney definitely trying to assert his dominance on the server with the AWP, trying to show us why he is the man to look out for at this event. Definitely looking to try and get himself out there this time around. It's going to be the pistol side. Let's see what the players are looking at here. Any kits? I'm not seeing any. Just full armor from the CTs.
Maybe they need a bit of confidence. They want to take the duels. Sadly, that's not the easiest thing to do versus the Glocks. And speaking of the Glocks, they're coming your
for
way.
a rush rogues right here. Prazy going to go charging in. Is he going to spot the player towards Pillar though? They're not going to clear him. They're not going to clear him.
It doesn't
Flix
matter.
doesn't land anything there. Luke's going to try and finish it back up with a double.
Ooh.
And Nizzy spamming him through the smoke finds his mark. It's a 2v4 for AMANEK, and they find themselves in a very good position in this pistol round.
They've retrieved the bomb. Look at LTH. Got to find the first one. The smoke there is still prevalent. And got to get the second headshot as LTH.
You can never count him out. LTH is always good for a clutch or two. We'll be interested to see if he can find himself this one. Bomb is down towards the latent A section. And Nizzy, 0. They've got full info on where he is now. Nizzy's just going to chill and keep an eye on the bomb. Be interesting to see if he gets cleared though. Hard
Nice
angle for LTH to clear. Nizzy finds the shot. Long range angle. Good stuff from him. But wow, what a performance from LTH to try and bring this one back in. Nizzy as well with a triple.
Yeah, Shaney dying with on the retreat with the bomb was kind of the beginning of the end for that round. No matter how well LTH was fighting in mid, if you lose your bomb in such an angle, it's very hard to retrieve it. He had to try, but unsuccessful. And AMANEK, well, they finally managed to break the, 4 or 5 rounds curse in a row by winning the pistols, and now they just need to play smart and not lose any of their guns.
Definitely, they need to keep this momentum going into the next couple of rounds if they're going to want to try and bring back this map in their favor. Nizzy finds himself very forward on this map here. And the T side not looking to contest mid here. They decided, you know what, guys, you can have it. You can have it this time around. That's fine. Nizzy, though, he's
holding it.
praising for a nice little couple of
He
kills
needs
here.
one. He
Needs
needs
to get at least one. Doesn't make it happen.
Zero stack,
Zero's
no!
gone as well. LTH is just ripping
One more
house
hope.
right now.
RX is there, but they've already retrieved the FAMAS. They're going to retrieve the M4. RX needs to get some bullets onto the low HP players to find something, but they're not coming his way. It's going to be Bish just holding the lurk, and RX, is he going to clear his corner? Please do, RX. Buy your time, and finally gets one.
Big brain from RX to hold it down. Trouto with a Glock finishes it off. It's a 3v1 for flowstate and RX. Just alone now. 2 low HP players and Shaney. But Shaney's got the big boy A1S. He's looking to finish things off. Just trade out your low HP players. Finish the job.
They're playing this
LTH
patiently.
making a distraction here. Trouto goes in for the trade. Excellent job. Textbook Counter-Strike, that is.
Love to see it. Absolutely impeccable from flowstate and Amanek. I'm not entirely sure what the play in water was, why you sent 3 players there at first and then sacked one of them. Then another individual duel being lost as LTH punished with that deagle. And now, I gotta say, I think this is the beginning of the end.
No, 100%. This is looking very, very one-sided at the moment. It seems as if flowstate found themselves in the driving seat in today's game. Interesting to see if Amanek can find a couple of nice kills with these deagles, but that remains to be seen. As I say, that loose magie rips off Bish's head. Clean off. Wow.
Almost interfered with our production on the back of that headshot. That was impeccable.
Yeah, the gravitas of the deagle shot was so seismic. We felt it. We felt the ripples of it through the production team here at Epicland.
Now with the player advantage, of course, it's going to be very hard to retrieve that AK. But Amanek have the close quarter angles. It's a crossfire with the deagle and the MP9. Shaney is going to have a very tough angle to clear this. As I say that, he just gets the kill, so maybe not.
Loose looking to try and trade that one out. Not going to happen, though. Let's see where they head towards next. Maybe they call off this B attack and head now towards A, or maybe even go for like a split. The options are theirs. And they find themselves in the control of this match even further.
Good angle. Oh, deagle does get a connection from the 5-7. A single kill going their way. Now, 3 players with AKs. Well, there's 3 AKs versus an MP9 and a deagle. And a Zero Stack plus look need to either find the dropped rifles and save them, or go for a Hail Mary, try to win 2v3.
Be interested to see if we can get some exits here. He's waiting patiently to see if any of these Ts want to budge, and finds himself in the nice little cubby to see if anyone doesn't decide to clear him.
Kauto, easy headshot onto Luke. I don't know why Luke got so curious over there. And because this is going to open up an exit way for the Ts. LTH will walk towards Zero Stack. Look at him, how cautious he is. Checking left, right, and center.
No, he's not.
Just a kill, it doesn't matter. That was an investment from Amanek, only finding 3 kills. The money is basically gone from the bank, and I think we maybe need to get a final tactical timeout from them.
Yep, they've got 1 tack left. If they're going to use it, now's the time. Not opting for it, though. They just want to go straight back into this.
Maybe next round, you know, you go for a save and then you call attack timeout, 12-4, begin the comeback of the century.
Yeah, and we can see they're looking to try and do this. They want to try and go to the map point here. They have not opted to force back into this game.
Bish.
Amanek and Co. Bish just running around into the side. RX going to take him out with a P250, though. Wow, what a shot.
It's sensational from RX, but instantly traded back, of course, by Trouto, who has been the cornerstone of this team. Crazy finds Zero Stack, opening up the bomb site. But still, they're not rushing this. They are sticking to the procedures. Nizzy, Nizzy, Nizzy!
Nizzy not going to find anything. It's just loose, left alive. Not able to do it either. Flowstate just come in and easily take this round.
When your top fragger has such an unfortunate moment with a P250, caught on camera of all things, you gotta realize Amanek probably mentally out of this game.
I don't know what it is, man, but whenever you see a player that is behind you and not facing you, that is the hardest shot to hit in the game, for sure. Like, you have to try and think, oh, do I let them go? Do I let them here? And just, yeah, not able to land it on that occasion.
Well, he had to try to land them because, of course, he dropped, so he made a sound. But look at here, we got RX. 2 players just in front of him in main. Will have to smoke himself off after a flash.
RX finds himself with hot feet heading into potentially the last round of this game. It needs to be the last bastion for AMANEK if they're going to figure out how to win, how to hold off this T-side fish, though, with the entry onto Nizzy. Gets taken down. Loose as well follows it up. Going to get traded, though, by Shaney.
One after the other, they're falling like domino pieces. Flix is going to try to check the mid. They're not giving him anything. He's going to fall back to site. And I love this from flowstate, showing great composure, not overcommitting. They're not trying to play their player numbers card just yet. And now slowly walking up mid after they've posted Crazy out of main.
Yep, flowstate being the higher seeded team, they know they're in the driving seat. The end is nigh. Keep your cool, and the round will be yours. Split now coming out from flowstate. They're going to try and converge on this B bomb site. CS2 wants nothing to do with it. He's heading back, giving them some stays. Shaney finds CS2, gets 2 though. A nice attempt, but it's just Flix now to try and finish this off. Is he going to find the player?
Slowing down, has the opportunity of finding isolated duels. Positioning of one has been revealed by the smoke. Now, how deep are you going to go and clear this? You need to do it sooner. You do have a molly, but you don't want to give away your position. Can you get the first team? The answer is no, as Trouto gets the final headshot. flowstate 13-4, and a dominating fashion with a statement, continuing their campaign towards making the upper bracket playoffs.
100%. We definitely had some nice rounds out of AMANEK, but in the end, the game definitely went the way of flowstate there, as we expected.
Yeah. Did we expect it to be so dramatic? Maybe not. I was hoping for it to be at least closer, considering flowstate started on the theoretical harder side of CT, but no, it wasn't the case. 9-3 at the halftime, and kind of when we realized it's heading one way, and that's the way it ended, right?
Yeah, definitely. The talent on flowstate coming in hard and fast. We had Trouto going in 3K on the pistol. We had Bish lining them up like flies as they drop down onto the mid site as well. Shaney on the orb, looking crisp and clean. What a showing from these boys.
MVP?
MVP, 100%.
Yeah, to Trouto? Or Shaney?
I'm gonna go.
What about LTH?
I mean, how do you choose, man? They're all got their qualities, man.
I think, I think there's a strong argument for Shaney and LTH, but I'm gonna say Trouto only because of that pistol round, right? That pistol round was the sign of things to come. The way that pistol round went, it's the way the rest of the map kind of went.
He definitely set the tone going into this match and made their statement. And their statement was they were here to win, and that's exactly what they did.
Well, that is going to be it for game number 6, but we do have one more best of one of the group stage coming up in a moment, where all of these teams still trying to clinch an upper bracket spot in the playoffs or a playoff spot.
No, 100%. You ain't going to want to miss it, so don't you go anywhere here at Epicland.